Is this on?
All right, good evening. Or actually, I think it's still afternoon. Yeah, we've still got 20 minutes. We're going to begin early because, well, we've got a packed house and you're all seated and ready to go. So there's no point in delaying. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lisa Brazo. I'm a member of the board of the Brock Community Health Center, the board of directors. I would also like to welcome my fellow board members who are here as well this evening. A few of them are, I'll ask them afterwards perhaps to stand and give you a sense of who they are. We're excited about this. This is our second series, our second evening of this series. We've got 3 planned for this fall, and it's all about seniors. Did I say fall? It feels like it, doesn't it? Sorry, spring. Yeah, there were a few days that felt like spring. It currently is a little fall-like. And we're really happy that we've got a great turnout. This is obviously a topic that matters to all of us. Safety in our community, it matters, it's important, and we've got a fabulous host of panelists here that are all going to take a little bit of time and speak to you. We did set this up a little formally where we've got people speaking each their turn for about 15 to 20 minutes. However, if a question is burning in your mind while they're still up there, please feel free to ask them. Otherwise, we will open it to a question and answer period at the end. So that's making it as easy as we can for you. Maybe a little bit of housekeeping going on. So if you're looking for things like washrooms, they're just outside here. We would also remind you maybe to put your phones on silent. I know I had to remember to do it just before I came up here. The refreshments are going to stay out. So I know some of you might be a little crammed into the middle, but it's okay to ask people to move a little bit. If you need to get up and get a few more refreshments, that's fine. And between speakers as well. So let's have a little bit of fun with this, even though it's a very serious topic. We're so happy that you were able to make it out with us. I'm going to give you some more things later on about when our next series is and a few other things that I'm hoping you'll be able to do. A reminder, if you didn't register on your way in, there's a sign-up sheet, and we'd love to know how many people we had here tonight and who you were. So if you didn't get a chance to do that, feel free to do it maybe on your way out. We'll leave the sheet at that front door. And plus there's a lovely, I didn't take any of them yet, but there's a nice little notebook and a little fidget thing that's a bean. If you wanted to pick one of those up, they're up for grabs. Okay. So tonight we have with us 5 speakers. Jennifer Josephson, right here to my left. She's the Seniors and Community Health Worker here at Brock Community Health Center. And she's also the chairperson for the Durham Elder Abuse Network, which is DEAN, known as DEAN. Next to her is Constable Colin Granger. He's a Community Crime Prevention Officer for the North Division of Durham Regional Police Services. If you've ever done coffee with a cop here in Cannington, you've met with Colin. He's a well-known face to some of us, and he's the liaison between our community and the Durham Police Service. Aidan Hughes, Crisis Intervention Counselor with Victim Services for Durham Region, who supports victims of all crime categories, and his colleague, Elisa Black-Hill. She's in the Human Trafficking Crisis Intervention Counselor with the Victim Services also of Durham Region. And lastly, we have Olivia Sonnenberg. She's our fire prevention officer here in the township of Brock. And they've all got different topics to speak to us on. And I hope you enjoy your evening. Thank you. Jennifer, you're first up.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Can everybody hear me okay? Or I'm a little shorter than everybody. There we go. So thank you for the introduction, Lisa. I'm Jennifer. Most of you know me and Loretta. You'll see us out in the community with our programs, our falls prevention and our yoga, all those great things, our country line dancing, our longest ever program that we've had here. But I also, on the other side of the program area, I also do client support services, doing systems navigation for older adults, their family members, and the community, helping to make sure that our seniors are living in the community well and safe. Part of that sometimes includes working with older adults who are having safety issues. Sometimes that allows me to work with these fellow panelists, our police officers, our victim services and fire department, because it's a collaborative response and it's a collaborative community that we work in. And it takes a village to help some of our older adults who've become victims of crime or elder abuse. Part of my work at the health center here allows me to chair the Durham Elder Abuse Network. Some of you will have maybe remembered we did a flag raising last year in our community. Coming up on May 6th, we have a presentation in partnership with the municipality, a more in-depth presentation on elder abuse and warning signs. Colin will be joining us that day as well. And so today I'm going to give you just a little bit of information with hopes that you'll come to that presentation on the 6th to learn more. The Elder Abuse Network has been around since the early 90s, and it was really started with social workers in long-term care, trying to identify and raise awareness about abuse happening in long-term care facilities. But they quickly realized that elder abuse was happening outside of the walls of long-term care and retirement homes, and started to incorporate other community organizations and agencies to where we've developed it. We've got probably about 60 different organizations and agencies that are part of our network from all across Durham regions, servicing any organization or individual servicing seniors, or anyone just interested and have a vested interest in seniors. We have a couple caregivers on our network. We have a few retired individuals who have retired from their day job and continue to support the network. And over the years, we've really grown in terms of what we offer to the community. We're totally non-funded. We don't have any funding that is attached to us. We do fundraising events and we have donations. We most recently were the recipient of 100 Women Who Care in Whitby, and they were able to donate $14,000 to the network, which allows us to do a lot of really great things. To start, we have a emergency food program. So we've partnered with Community Care Durham all across Durham Region, any one of the different locations, and any one of our members or our police officers that are responding to calls for older adults and they find that they maybe have issue with food security, or they have an issue with accessing adequate food, whether that's they just can't get to the grocery store or we need services and support set up. The Durham Elder Abuse Network will actually pay for 14 frozen meals or fresh meals from Community Care Durham for a short period of time while we can arrange for supports and services to come in and help that individual. We have a Christmas program, Secret Santa for Seniors, that we run in partnership with the Sutton Group, and they allow us to do over 500 gifts each Christmas, hand-delivered gifts to seniors all across Durham. I think in Brock last year, we delivered about 85 different gifts, personalized gifts to everyone. So we utilize the membership and individuals, clients, or people that we've come across. And it's not always about someone who's been a victim of abuse or neglect. It's about individuals who maybe are alone or isolated at Christmas time, or don't have that many family members around, or they've had something kind of tragic happen in their lives, or just simply someone we'd like to kind of give an extra little Christmas wish to. So that program has been happening for quite a few years now, and it continues to grow. The other part that we do is the education and advocacy part of raising awareness in the community, having education sessions like today. We had an education session last night in Port Perry, and we worked with the municipality to offer, awareness, who you can call, helping people identify abuse, and letting them know that there is help out there. We've started that this year, targeting all the municipalities in Durham Region, and pretty much all the municipalities have jumped on board, and our network membership will go out and do those presentations to the community. We also have a very special budget line that we set aside for helping those who have become a victim of crime or elder abuse. And if all other things have been exhausted, we can utilize some funds to help folks out in time of need. So we've really it's really kind of generalized, and it's not, there's not a whole lot of very strict criteria that it takes to access that. It's, we utilize our membership. We have two senior safety advisors with the region of Durham that sit on our network, and if they have an individual who is in need of something, then we bring that to the table and vote on whether or not we can help. So in the past year, we've helped house a safe shelter for two seniors in Durham Region who were leaving an abusive situation, and were able to allow them to stay at a retirement home for a month while suitable housing was found. We've helped furnish entire apartments for people when they've found safe housing. We've been able to cover the cost of diabetes medication for a woman staying at a woman's shelter because she was new to the community, and she was a new immigrant to Canada and had no coverage, and her sponsors were the ones that were abusing her, so she was not able to access her diabetes medication. So we were able to cover the costs, so she had insulin. We've been able to provide clothing. Sometimes individuals are having to leave their home with just what they have on their backs. And we work with Second Chance in Bowmanville to make sure that everybody has everything that they need for their new future. We've been able to provide food, grocery, gift cards. Sometimes our senior safety advisors, the emergency meal program isn't necessarily suitable for that particular individual, so they're able to access gift cards for Walmart, Tim Hortons, local grocery stores to help individuals in need. And we do this because we see the rise of elder abuse in the community growing. So the statistics are 4 to 10% of older adults are experiencing some form of abuse. What we know working in the field is that that is probably very underrated because elder abuse is very underreported. Oftentimes, 60% of the time, the abuser is a family member, an adult child, grandchild, spouse, daughter. And oftentimes older adults aren't wanting to report that, or they don't want to see their loved one get into trouble. So when we respond to calls and when we are working with someone, oftentimes I'll find that we're also working with the abuser as well, because that person doesn't want anything bad to happen to them, or they want to make sure that they have support as well. So in order to keep the senior safe, we try to provide resources and supports for those individuals. We as a network don't do response ourselves, but we do kind of consultations and take in referrals from others and kind of try to get those people connected quickly. Here at the health center, you are able to reach out to me if you are suspecting that someone is being abused or needs help. It's not always even just about necessarily abuse. It could be that you have a neighbor or a friend that maybe isn't doing very well. They don't have anybody coming in to help them with services or housekeeping. They need assistance with transportation to doctor's appointments. All of those kind of systems navigation things are things that you can give me a call about, and we can chat about how we can get people involved in some of our programs, but also referrals to other community partners. One of the biggest things to remember when thinking about how to keep our older adults safe and how to keep yourself safe is being socially connected to your community, to your friends, to your family. Social isolation is one of the key elements that allows folks to become abused. and allows the abusers to take advantage of folks. So that's why we have a really strong social recreation program here at the Community Health Center. And even just getting out once or twice a week to a community group. I know all of our groups are such tight-knit groups of individuals, and we always recognize when one of our regular participants isn't there and wondering where they are, and people call and check in, and that's what community is all about. And that's how we here at the health center try to keep folks engaged in social recreational activities. It's an important part of that. I know Colin's going to get into a little bit more about frauds and scams, but in terms of all of the different types of abuse that people face, the number one always seems to be financial abuse. And that includes things like frauds and scams, but also things like theft by power of attorney, misusing somebody's bank card. We've had lots of cases where folks need assistance with getting groceries, so they'll give out their bank card to a neighbor or a friend and with a specific list, but then find out that afterwards maybe that person purchased some things for himself without their permission. So situations like that, we would try to kind of make sure that there's other alternatives for them to access food and medications and things like that. I think we work really well with some of our community partners and addressing elder abuse. And I think everyone that's here at the table this morning, in some way, shape, or form, we've worked together on identifying and helping individuals. And it might not be something that's criminal in nature. It may be something that's requiring a social support. And everybody kind of plays their role. So I encourage you to take all the information from everyone here today, and there's lots of handouts on the table over there about resources and supports that you can reach out to. Elder Abuse Prevention Ontario has a website if you're tech savvy and there's ever something that you want to look up or you would like to have more information on. They have a whole host of resources, even if you're parts of other groups or networks in the community, like the Lions or Lionesses, and you want to take something to your meetings, there's lots of really great information on there, and we can always get stuff printed off for you as well. Angela has a flyer that we'll post up after Colin's presentation, but this is our flyer for Tuesday, May the 6th. And it will be, like I mentioned, a much more in-depth presentation on elder abuse. We'll have one of our senior safety advisors from the region of Durham here as well, and she'll talk a little bit about her stats and their team stats and how they address abuse across the region and what the picture is like and what's happening in your own backyards. It's quite staggering, the numbers and the amounts of folks that they work with each and every year. So we look forward to having you there. You can let me know if you want to attend, or just a drop in. There'll be some light refreshments and things there as well. If you have a friend or a neighbor that you think is interested, please feel free to bring them along as well. And I'll turn it over to Colin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jennifer.
Yes. Oh,
Here.
here. Yes, in this room.
Is it the same mic?
It is. Let's put it up. Here. Here's good.
Mic. Try to do interference if this goes on. I'll turn it off. It's good.
Good. Hang on. There's not a lot of places to hook this onto.
See?
Everything. What's because it's thin. It's really thin. Hang on. We're going on your shirt. There you go. There we go.
Okay, great. Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Oh yeah.
Again, my name is Constable Colin Granger. I've been with Durham Regional Police since 2008. I'm a resident of Scugog since 2008, and I've been serving the northern communities of Uxbridge, Brock, and Scugog since 2014. So I'm very acquainted with the area. Today I'm going to be talking to you about fraud awareness and prevention, and you may recognize a lot of what I'm going to be talking to you about today, but hopefully you'll get something out of it, be able to recognize it and know what to do should you be involved in some way with these different types of scams. Okay, we'll start off with what is fraud. So fraud is a false representation of a matter of fact, whether by words or by conduct, by false or misleading allegations, or by concealment of what should have been disclosed, that deceives and is intended to deceive another so that an individual will act upon it. So criminals are experts at using pressure, tactics, and emotion to exploit your trusting nature and kindness. Seniors are targeted nearly twice as likely to report falling. That's a little bit of a typo there. They're twice as likely to be targeted for scams, and 86% of seniors have been targeted by scammers, with 14% falling victim. These individuals will spend hours researching your life, so they'll look at many different ways of doing this, and we'll get into that in a minute. Is it? Okay, great. Right. So, why me? Why am I getting this call? So, scammers target seniors due to their higher savings and the potential isolation and loneliness that comes with at that age. When you answer the phone, scammers can tell a lot about you. As soon as you say hello, they can tell your age, they can tell your sex, your demographics, and what they'll do is they'll pick the exact scam which one to choose to use on you. So a simple hello is enough for them to record your voice, and then the AI will know with 96% accuracy which scam would be best to be used on you. And if you answer once, you're marked as someone who answers the phone, and you're going to receive more phone calls from these scammers. We're all raised to be polite, but today the first hello is exactly what a scammer is looking for. The grandparent scam. Many of you probably are familiar with this one. I don't know if anyone's had anybody call. Okay. So it involves a phone call by someone who's pretending to be your grandchild. They claim to be in crisis, in jail or in the hospital or traveling. And to add legitimacy, they'll get someone else to get on the phone and pretend to be a police officer, a lawyer, or official. And they'll ask you to send money in an untraceable way, such as cryptocurrency or through gift cards or cash by courier pickup. And so that those are when you know that it's urgent, it's making you fearful for somebody's safety, and they're asking for money right away. That's a tip that it's definitely going to be a scam. The romance scam. So this one touches you at a very deep level because of the love you have towards your family and towards building a love with somebody else. So offenders use social media and dating sites to create fake profiles. They develop relationships over time with the victim, and this could be weeks, months, it could be a year. It's like they're grooming you. And they gain your trust, and then they make up a reason to need money. Same kind of deal. They'll say, I'm in the hospital, I need money for a business, or I need for an investment, but they'll use your trust to try and get you to give them money. And they'll ask for money in the same way. It's untraceable. It's going to be cryptocurrency. It's going to be a money order, and they'll say that they'll pay you back. The AI investment scam. So they'll use AI to create realistic fake videos and cloned voices and highly crafted emails. And they'll mimic trusted sites, and they'll impersonate loved ones, celebrities, and even government officials. They'll lure you into a too good to be true type of investment offer. And they'll rush you into making quick financial decisions. So they'll ask you for money for an investment and you need to do it right now because the offer is going to be off the table. Spoofing. Technology is used to disguise caller ID, email, and website addresses. So they spoof the number and make it appear to be a different number as a local call, a specific organization, or even a known number. I don't know if you've ever had this, and it could say police, it could say CRA, it could say different organizations. They will speak authoritatively with urgency using threatening or high-pressure language to bypass your judgment. They'll send you unexpected attachments or links designed for you to quickly click that will allow them to steal your data. Phishing. This is very similar to phishing. They'll throw out many different hundreds of texts and emails and messages on social media, different platforms to see who's going to bite. So they'll impersonate trusted entities, your banks, different major companies, or the CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, and they'll claim that you have an unpaid balance or you have suspicious purchases. I don't know if you've ever seen that text or an email. You have a suspicious purchase. Was this you? They create panic and they trick you into clicking the links or share sensitive information like your password or your social insurance number. And then once they have access to your computer or your bank account, especially your bank account, they'll just transfer the money right out. Tech support scams. So when all of a sudden you get a pop-up on your computer and it's unsolicited and it says that your computer has a major infection or virus, and they'll create a sense of panic to prevent you from thinking clearly. And you give them remote access by clicking on a link, and they can install malware, and they can steal your data, and they can gain access to different accounts that way as well. They'll take over your account, and they won't free it until you give them some money or some other form of currency, and it is extortion. The home repair scams, you've probably heard of this or seen it on TV. These scammers will show up unannounced. They claim they're in the neighborhood, working on the neighbor's residence. They have leftover material. They create a false sense of urgency, that your roof has a hole in it or it needs immediate attention, and they'll offer you free inspections and really low prices. And then they'll take a large deposit. They'll do shoddy work, and then they'll disappear halfway through the job. Protect your PIN. So when you go to the bank machine, this is when a stranger would hover very close to you, and while you're at the terminal, while you're putting in your digits to get access to your account. As well, you want to look at the keypad. If the keypad looks different, it could be that someone's put on a fake keypad to capture the data that you're putting in, so they capture your passwords. So you always want to be aware of your surroundings when it comes to money. So anytime you're getting money out of a machine, just be aware of what's around you. Why is this person so close to me? Be aware of strangers offering to help or claiming that the machine is broken. Any distraction that occurs, and they usually occur just as you're putting your PIN or just after you entered your PIN, and they may pretend to be injured or to drop money, and this is usually an indication that they're trying to capture your PIN or to grab your card because they already have your PIN because they watched you put it in. Distraction theft. You've probably heard of this one on the news. This is this lady here came up, and what she did was she pretended to put a necklace on this lady while actually it's a fake necklace or a cheap necklace, while taking her valuable necklace off her at the same time and then leaving the cheap one. So they created distraction by spilling coffee, dropping coins, asking for directions when you least expect it. They may accidentally bump into you or offer you unsolicited gifts, and while distracted, they may take your purse, or they'll place the cheap fake jewelry on you while stealing your valuable jewelry. A lot of this happens when you're just doing the most mundane things, like at the grocery store and you're putting your groceries into your car. They may come up and say, "Oh, your tire," and probably broken English as well. Your tire, and then you go look at your tire and you come back and your purse is taken. That kind of thing. So they prey on your helpfulness and they rush you while your focus is elsewhere. So the best thing you can do when it comes to phone scams is not answer your phone. It sounds simple, but it's really hard to do. If you've already picked up, just hang up immediately. We've been very conditioned to be very polite and have good manners, and that's what scammers are relying on. They're relying on your good manners to keep you on the phone. So you don't need to be polite. The less you say, the better. Hanging up is not rude, it's actually self-defense. So there's going to be a few things I want you to do. So scammers use the high pressure tactics to shut down your logic. And if you feel panicked or rushed, this is when you need to have a little bit of self-awareness and think, okay, I feel panicked, I feel rushed. I just need to stop and I need to think. Take a moment and think. A legitimate professional or family member will never mind if you hang up and call them back in 5 minutes. So if you get that grandparent scam and you're thinking, oh, this is my grandson and he's in trouble, hang up the phone, call your daughter or your son, ask about the grandchild yourself. If you get a call from a business or your bank, hang up the phone, call them yourself, do your own inquiries. I want you to be skeptical. I want you to question everything and don't automatically trust what you see and hear, as AI can mimic both what you see and what you hear. So challenge, this is the second part. If a caller claims to be from a bank, the CRA, or a tech company, like I said, hang up, find the real number, and call them back yourself. So I want you to reject, refuse, and ignore these different requests. To defeat AI cloned voices, create a family safe word. So what you'll do is, if a relative calls from an unknown number asking for help with any one of these scams, you challenge them. You say, what's the safe word that we have? And you can use this with your family and with your friends. And if they can't provide it, then you know that that's a scam. And you can ignore that request. Is that 15 minutes? I only got 2 left.
You can have some of my time because I didn't use all 15.
We're good.
I'm just waiting for the next slide.
Next one.
Okay, so if by happenstance you happen to become a victim of one of these scams, this is what I want you to do. I want you to protect yourself. So the first thing you want to do is freeze. You want to freeze your accounts. You want to call your bank, freeze your accounts, right? If you've shared any of the money, if you go to the bank or call the bank, document everything. Save all your emails, your receipts, your phone logs, and watch for recovery scams. This is where a fraudster will it'll be a second scam. So a fraudster will contact you. It might not be the same scammer, and they'll offer to get your money back. And that's a second scam. And so they're going to scam you twice. So you need to watch for that. And it'll be for a fee as well. And I want you to file a report with your local police and with the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. It doesn't take long for the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. It's all online. Here are the three numbers that you need to keep in mind. So 1-800-O-Canada. This is where you call to verify if a caller from the federal government or any kind of organization is legitimate. This is at the federal level. At the provincial level is dial 211. This is for your community support, your legal aid, and help after a scam. And then for your Durham residents, you'd call 311 for your local Durham experts regarding senior safety and fraud. So I know I've been pretty quick. I've given you a bunch of different scams, but it's all about recognizing the fear and the urgency that they're putting on you, and just take time, stop, think about it, hang up the phone, call the right person back, and you'll keep yourself safe. That's all I got. Where is it? Thanks.
Oh, no, it's should be okay. Okay, hi everyone. My name's Alyssa, and again, I am a human trafficking crisis intervention counselor at Victim Services. Are you guys familiar with Victim Services at all? No? Okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. So Victim Services, we serve all of Durham Region, even all the way out here in Cannington and Beaverton and all these northern places. We support victims and survivors of crime and sudden tragedy, including things obviously like human trafficking, domestic violence, sexual assault, homicide, suicide, all of those things, which does include elder abuse and fraud. And so essentially we provide system navigation, advocacy supports, and emotional supports to individuals impacted by crime. And so I'm not going to be talking to you about human trafficking today, but if you'd like to learn more about human trafficking, we have a little pamphlet over there that has 5 myths and misconceptions about human trafficking, just so you're aware in your community, or if you are tech savvy, you can look at our website. And so at Victim Services, we do provide supports to elders that have experienced many of the frauds and scams that Constable Colin has shared with you guys today. And we frequently see it, especially with physical and sexual abuse. And so basically that is all that I'm saying to you guys, but my colleague Aiden here is going to kind of talk more about what it actually looks like to have supports from Victim Services and what it actually looks like. And if you guys want more information, we do have additional pamphlets that kind of go over resources and all of that good stuff. Nice and quick. Oh.
Hi everybody, my name is Aiden. I'm a crisis intervention counselor from Victim Services. Thank you, Alyssa. So a little bit about Victim Services as well is we do actually a lot of community community engagement and community, I guess, teachings. We have somebody at our organization named Kate who goes around to a bunch of elementary schools, high schools. She does a lot of presentations in the, oh gosh, what's it called? The the community safety village in Durham Region as well. So she goes around and teaches things like anti-human trafficking as well as anti-fraud as well. But today I'm going to be just teaching you and talking to you about a little bit about what my role at Victim Services looks like, and a little bit about what the supports beyond just the emotional support looks like for anybody, including elders. Okay, so what it looks like to be referred to or to get a referral to receive services from Victim Services is we have three main ways, technically, I think, that we can do a referral. Our first one is we receive calls on our main line. So you might get someone like me or one of my colleagues at Victim Services at our office answering our main line, and it's available Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and someone is there to answer the phone. And what that looks like is we'll just ask a few questions such as your name, date of birth, and a little bit of the supports that you're looking for. So part of our role is through system navigation. We have connections to not only funded things, I will get into the funded programs afterwards, but we have access to referrals to community agencies. Some community agencies that we might refer you to are some publicly funded counseling that we might look into, or if you guys are just in need of some immediate supports in an immediate year, that's what we're there for as well. Okay, the second way that you guys would be referred to us is through a community agency. If you are connected in the community and you guys are experiencing any kind of abuse or elder abuse, please feel free to reach out to an agency. We do have a mainline email that it goes to. They are connected, and then somebody will assign your file to one of the workers like myself, and it generally will take about 1 to 3 business days. So if you call in on a Friday, your file will get assigned on a Monday. You'll hear from us by the Wednesday after. We do our best to get to you as soon as we can. That's for any referral. So if you're tech savvy or you have support from anybody that is tech savvy, please feel free send us an email. It's on our website. I don't actually. Oh, I do have it right here. It's victimservices@drps.ca. Now we do all have a Victim Services at Victim Services. We all have a DRPS email address. So my email address and Alyssa's email address will come up as a DRPS email. If you do receive an email from us, we generally will identify, and we do have an e-signature at the bottom that'll show where we are emailing from. So as much as we just talked about the frauds and scams, that's how you can confirm that it is coming from Victim Services, is we will have our work cell phone, our name, our pronouns, our role, and it'll have the little Victim Services sticker there. So that would be the second way that we would receive a referral, is through our email. The third way is recently we launched a hate crime reporting tool. That was a story in the news. I'm not sure, was it a month and a bit ago? A month and a half ago? So our executive director was on the news, and we launched a hate crime reporting tool. Now that's not just simply for hate crime. If you are experiencing elder abuse and you are able to access the internet, please feel free. That is actually on our website, so that there is no other way that you can kind of access that unless it's on our website and through our website, and we get that referral that way. And was that the other one? I think that's the 3 ways generally. Pardon? Right. Right. I thought I led with DRPS.
No.
I did not lead with DRPS. Okay. Sorry. The fourth way is through DRPS. So if it is a file that you accept Victim Services within through DRPS, and they attend your residence, or you go into a DRPS office and you create a report, if you accept Victim Services, it will be sent to us, and again, your file will be assigned, and someone will reach out to you that way. That way is by far, I would say, our most common way, so it's just astonishing that I forgot it after a day of work looking at them. But that is by far our most common way. I would say our second most common way is the main line. It is for sure the main line. The main line rings a ton of times a day. So please do not hesitate to give us a call. And just, if you need an ear or you're experiencing any kind of physical, emotional, mental abuse, any kind of abuse, please reach out to us, and we will be happy to support you. The next thing that I'm going to just touch on is just kind of the types of questions that we're going to ask when you do call. I know I said that very briefly. We're going to ask like first name, last name, date of birth, phone number, if you have an email. Those are just kind of the generalized things that I will run through as a crisis intervention counselor, just so that way, because just because you may get in touch with me on our main line does not mean that your file will stay with me. So basically what I am looking for is as much background information as I can gather, so that way whoever the file is assigned out to, they have just as much information without having to come back through and ask all of the same questions. So it makes everybody's life a little bit easier. That way you guys don't have to repeat the same information and do the re-traumatization of talking about it, but as well as we now know the supports that we can refer you to before you call, before we reach out to you. Again, we just talked about the frauds and scams. When we are calling, our phone numbers may or may not appear as something that you may not get a phone call from frequently. It may and has been told to me that it does look like a scammer is calling somebody. I won't tell everybody what it looks like just for the confidentiality of it. If you do call our main line and you do a self-referral, generally we will let you know a little bit about what our caller ID looks like, but just know like we are not scammers calling you. We also cannot leave a voicemail for confidentiality purposes. We can't leave a voicemail unless you have an identifying voicemail. So I do encourage everybody to maybe get some support if you have some, or if you have anyone who can help you set up a voicemail, or if you're questioning whether your voicemail is set up, just say your first name in your voicemail, and we'll absolutely be able to leave that voicemail for you and say, hey, my name is Aiden, I'm calling from Victim Services. I got your self-referral. I'm just reaching out to see if you would like any supports. If you are tech savvy and you do have an email, and you leave us with an email, and you tell us it's safe to email you, we will send you an email just like I said we would. But the reasons we ask the questions that we ask is also because we work with a program through the ministry that does support elder abuse. Now, granted, that support with elder abuse is very, very, very strict. It's unfortunate. I don't like to say it, but as much as I would love to support, it is not my parameters that I have to work within. It is the ministry's parameters that I have to work within. It does give you a little bit of funding for things like grocery cards or like basic necessities, or if you're seeking counseling, we can get you some funding for counseling and other things that are related to the crime type, right? The elder abuse category is very, very, very strict. So I would love to say that it's super accessible. Unfortunately, there are certain parameters that we have to meet within the program that we work within, right? So if we are asking you certain questions, we're not just trying to get, we're not just asking just to ask. We're actually asking these questions that are rather important of like, oh, have you experienced intimate partner violence? Have you ever been struck by your partner? Have you ever had this happen or that happen? We are actually looking to see if you are eligible for our program that qualifies under, so we can support you further. So some of those questions would be, they might seem like they're very personal, and they might seem like they're very, on the nose, per se, but that is why we are asking them, is so we can actually support you in a better way. I kind of went through our referrals already. One other thing that I will say too about VSDR is we do take our confidentiality very seriously. So if someone in your family does say, hey, my grandmother or my mother is experiencing, this kind of abuse, or, oh, my son is experiencing this, or this. Unfortunately, with the confidentiality of it, we actually have to have them reach out directly to us. We take our confidentiality just because of the nature of what we do and the crime types that we work within. We do take the confidentiality of our program very seriously. So if you are calling and you are afraid that somebody might find out that you called, there is absolutely zero worry. We are 100% confidential, so much so to the point where if you are not comfortable creating a police report, we do not report it. If you are not comfortable going to the police with the information, we do not report it unless you give us consent to speak with the police with you or for you. So everything remains confidential. So you don't have to be fearful of somebody calling and going, did my mom call? Or did my grandmother call about this, or this? Right? Or my grandfather, right? Or my dad. So much to the point where we don't tell family members unless you are there with them. That is how seriously we do take the confidentiality of what we do. So if you are fearful, or you are experiencing any of these things, I do encourage you to pick up our little business card over there. It has our phone number and our mainline email on it, just in case you didn't get it. We do have flashlights as well as stress balls as well, if you guys are interested in those. But we also have other little handouts over there, like the human trafficking one, and just some generalized information a little bit further about victim services. I do have one other page here. It's just more about the ministry program that we work with. That program, like I said, is a government-funded program. We do receive funding through them. We do require your consent to actually apply to it as well, because there is a little bit of sharing between myself and the application. I do have to share a little bit about the crime type that may have occurred. So it does actually require you to give me consent. It is written. We send you the form if you have access to email. And even if you don't and you are out here in our offices in Oshawa, even if you are out here, we will drive to you and we will come and get you to sign it in person so we can support you. If you guys have any questions, feel free. You guys can ask them at any point. But I want to thank you guys for your time.
Yours is going to be the easiest.
Yo, didn't put a tie on. Oh, look, and I'm short again. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia Zonenberg. I'm the Fire Prevention Officer in Brock. I'm also a volunteer firefighter. I've been a fire prevention officer since February. You might know Madison Bath. You might have seen her before. She just had a baby, so she's on maternity leave. So I'm taking over for the year, and I'm learning lots. The funny part about this job is I'm actually preventing my volunteer job, which is a good thing. We don't always want that. You want to see fire prevention Olivia, not firefighter Olivia. So it's a good part of my job. Something I'm going to touch on today, good thing is AI hasn't figured out how to start fires yet, so that makes my job a lot easier. So fire safety when it comes to seniors, unfortunately there is a higher risk when it comes to seniors or older adults. The percentage has rose significantly in the last 5 years. I think it's gone up to 87% for fire-related injuries over the age of 65. So we'll touch base on how we can prevent those. And my biggest thing is when you get older, I'm getting a little bit older. I might not be as old as everyone, but your reaction time slows down. You might have some mobility issues. Maybe you take some medication at night to help you sleep. So therefore drowsiness will kick in. Might not hear that smoke alarm as well as you did 20 years ago. So we're going to touch base on smoke alarms, CO alarms. There's a new law that just came out. You have to have a CO alarm on every level of your home. And that being said, that CO comes from just about anything. You don't have to have gas in your home. You might have an attached garage and you're running vehicles to warm them up in the winter. Maybe you've kept that garage door closed. Well, you're pumping CO into your house, and it's good to have those alarms, we say, right by the garage door, up by the sleeping areas. When it comes to smoke alarms last 10 years, but sometimes they don't always last 10 years. They can be defective from dust. I was just talking to the lady over there, a spider web, believe it or not. Smallest things. My parents have a super wet basement, and the condensation from the water in the basement has actually made the alarm become defective. So a sign that your alarm needs to be replaced is a tiny little chirp. You just told me how annoying that is. It is. It's very annoying. It's super repetitive, and it kind of makes you want to rip it down and shove it outside. Don't do that. Call me if you can't reach your alarm, or maybe you have a family member that can help you. They can come help you do the alarm. If they're not sure what they're doing, they can always call the fire department. I have some forms on the far end of the table, the far right. We have 2 alarm assistance programs right now. So one of them is Alarm for Life. You might see us come in uniform to your door. We knock on your door and we offer a free smoke alarm and CO alarm inspection. We'll check your entire home. We inspect your alarms. If you're lucky, we might give you some free alarms if we can. Unfortunately, we don't do hardwired, which everyone seems to have now if you have a newer home. But we do that. You can also call us at any time. We have an alarm assistance program. So numbers should be on the page. Unfortunately, I'm so new I don't have business cards to give you, but that's okay. The numbers should be on the page. If not, if you're familiar with email, you can also email fire@brock.ca. More than happy to come out, inspect your alarms, check everything for you, make sure you're safe. One of the biggest causes of fire-related injuries is a big shock to everyone. It's actually cooking. So the reason being is a lot of people, I'm guilty myself sometimes, you'll put it on the stove and then you walk away. And even on those nice glass top stoves, doesn't have to be an open burner. I boiled water the other day and it made a nice big crisp around my stove, and then that actually caught on fire a little bit. Thankfully I knew how to put it out. But a lot of questions we get is about the fire blankets. So they're not recommended by the Ontario Fire Marshal. That being said, the reason we don't recommend them is it actually requires you to get close to the fire, which can then lead to a burn. And when you get older, the reaction time, possibly the mobility issues, could lead you to getting a burn from that fire. So never leave a stove unattended. Wear tight clothing or short sleeves if you can, because believe it or not, you might be doing something with grease, you'll get the grease on it, and with the heat, it will catch on fire. Young children, we all probably have grandchildren in the room. So we talk about the handles being turned out, because sometimes grandchildren might want to grab that stove, burn themselves. So it might not be an actual fire-related injury, but burns are considered a fire-related injury, and a lot of burns will happen from cooking. When it comes to electrical, that's our other high-end fire issue. Who uses power bars? Everybody. Yep, no, that's okay. So as long as the power bar has a power surge button on, it's a big orange button. So if the power goes out or there's an electrical overload, it will actually surge and turn it off. So that will help. My parents are guilty for this one. I had to rip them all out of the house. But there's the nice square ones that are 6 outlets that you plug into the 2, because people sometimes don't want that big power bar on the ground. Well, there's a reason there's only 2 outlets on the wall, is because that is what the electrical is made for. So if you're plugging 6 things in at once, it's going to overload the electrical. And I've actually seen them melt. If you ever come to one of our Fire Prevention Week open houses, you can see firsthand what it does to that equipment. So that's something that a lot of people don't really think about when it comes to fire safety, is electrical. Is you don't know what happens until it's bigger than you'd expect. It starts melting. You might smell a little burning and think, oh, I'm just going crazy. It's my old age. But it happens, and it happens really quickly. We also like to express escape plans. So we're getting older. I have a tiny home, which only has 1 exit in it which is not up to fire code because I need 2, but don't tell anyone. I'll jump out the window if I have to, but I don't want you to have to jump out the window. So the big fire safety planning is you have grandchildren over or yourself. Maybe you live alone. You should constantly going over in your head, okay, I'm in the kitchen. Where's the closest exit I can get to? Or I'm going to my bedroom. Am I able to get out at least 2 ways possible? We always express it to the younger kids, but the reason we do it to the younger kids is because we know they go home and say, hey mom, hey grandma, have you done your fire escape plan? And they don't stop until you do it. So that's a win for us. But yeah, knowing a way out, the CO alarm and smoke alarm, every level of your home, a lot of us can't reach it. I'm 5'4". I can't reach it without a ladder. So the biggest tip we have is a broom or a mop. There's a button on the smoke alarm. Every time you're kind of in the area of it, you can hit that button and it will test it for you to make sure it's working. If, again, you can't do that, you can always call us. I'm more than happy to come by and check all your alarms. Like I said, I got a bunch of free ones in the SUV, so if you're lucky, you'll get a nice new one. And the battery, we'll go to batteries. A lot of the new ones have a lithium-ion battery in it that will last 10 years. The older ones, you have to change the batteries. So we say when the clocks change, you change your batteries. Unless you're setting an alarm, who's going to remember that? So that's why we actually say set an alarm on your phone, or just remember, okay, it's daylight savings time. I got to check my battery, or I'm going to get my grandson or granddaughter to check them for me. Or you can call the fire prevention officer and I will check them for you as well. So the alarm will actually let out the end of life chirp, is what we like to call it, for a low battery. So you might be getting that chirp and you might have hucked it outside, but it might have been good for another 9 years. So always get the battery checked. Sometimes we have a few batteries. Believe it or not, you buy a pack of batteries from the store, you haven't opened it for 3 years. Doesn't mean the battery is brand new when you open it. If you actually look at the manufacture date, batteries only last 5 years. So if you bought it 2 years ago, you only have 3 years life left on it. That goes for smoke alarms and CO alarms as well. They'll say on the side what the date is to replace. Sometimes you have to look on the back with the manufacturer date. We recommend now doing the combination alarms because that way you're changing them all in one go. And the CO only lasts 7 years, where the smoke lasts 10. So if you have a combination, now they both last 10. So that's helpful in that sense. What's another one? Is anybody a smoker? Well, that's good. Oh, my parents are. If you have children, maybe grandchildren, hopefully not. But if anybody's a smoker, that will set off the smoke alarms as well. And then when it comes to smoking safety, hopefully your grandchildren are honest with you and not hiding it in their bedrooms and smoking. Kids can be bad. I got siblings. I know. Yeah, somebody. So express that to them, especially when you're having your grandkids over. The younger ones especially, they absolutely love the home escape planning. So kind of to get it instilled in your brain, because maybe our memory isn't getting as good. They come over and let's have fun. What are we going to do if there's a fire? That's not fun, but I always had fun as a kid doing it. Oh, let's see who can get out of the house the fastest. I always won. But it's stuff like that. It's gonna instill in your brain over and over again, because again, as you get older, your memory starts to go a little bit. You're not going to remember the smoke alarms. If you got a fridge or maybe a whiteboard in your house, I got a whiteboard in mine. Write a note and say, check your smoke alarm every month, because believe it or not, they do expire quicker than 10 years sometimes. We've had defective alarms come from companies and people are calling me back a year later to get them replaced. So that's a big thing. Getting out when you can. If we have another program, it's called Home Sweet Home. This one I actually highly recommend. Grab me a sheet. You can scan it and email it to me, or you can fill it out tonight and I'll take it. We have this thing called Who's Responding. When we get a fire call and we're able to open it up, we can pull up fire safety plans for any building we're going to. Well, what Home Sweet Home is if your house, maybe you have oxygen, maybe you have your grandchildren's often, maybe you have pets, or anything that you think might be helpful to us. It also allows you to draw out a plan of your home. Nobody wants their home to go down in a fire, so for us to know the layout is huge, and it will help us. So this program allows you to put your name, address, and the full plan of your home. Again, like if you have any oxygen tanks or anything that we might be aware or should be aware of as firefighters, we put that right into our app so that when Cannington's responding to a call, we're going to 103 Laidlaw. Okay, pull it up. There we go. Wow, we have a full inspection or full layout of the house. I can go in this door. I know that this person inside is non-ambulatory. We have a couple of senior homes here, at Bon Air, for example, and we have a list of all the non-ambulatory patients that are there. Stuff like that's going to really help us in an emergency. I also have some stickers over there for if you have a pet, stick on your door, and you can write how many pets are inside, and we will go inside. I know there's some people don't believe that we will go inside for a pet, but 100% we will. So stuff like that is really good for us to know. The big thing that I want to cover is the smoke and CO alarms. That's one of our biggest. A lot of people, I've been in homes with Madison where the alarm is from 1982 and it looks a little yellow now. They tend to fade with age. They do work. Believe it or not, the amount of ones we've tested and went, okay, it still works. Well, like I was going on before with the reaction time, the smoke alarms do the same. So it might work, but if you put it next to a brand new one's going to go off first, and then maybe 2 minutes later, the older one will go off. Unfortunately, the new thing is construction is changing everywhere. And back in the day, the older homes, like my parents have a 150-year-old farmhouse, you had about 10 to 12 minutes to exit the home if it was on fire. With new construction, they say you have about 2 to 3 minutes to exit. We're paying the price for it, especially when it comes to fires. So, yeah, smoke alarms, CO alarms will save your life, and you can never be too protective when it comes to that. So even if you live on a one-story and you go, oh, I have one, it's outside of my sleeping area, not putting it near my kitchen because every time I burn toast, it goes off. Put it in there because that way, even when it's going off with the toast, you know it's working. So, and believe it or not, that button that I told you about to test is actually a hush button. So if it's going off and you don't want the neighbors to know that you're making dinner, click it with your broom and it'll go quiet. So, yeah, that's about it. Fill out, if you want to fill them out tonight, like I said, or you can email them to me, fire@brock.ca. I won't give you my full name because it's long. Yeah. Not recommended, but. So a lot of people, my parents have the candles that have the glass domes around them. That's a little bit safer, but we give away the battery operated candles. That's what we recommend nowadays. Battery operated lanterns, flashlights, keep those. Grandkids, I know I was bad for it as a kid. I used to knock over the candles all the time on the kitchen table. So it's best to just not use them. We had a couple of people from Gillespie Gardens in Beaverton asking about that with the power outage. Unfortunately, we just went through that horrible ice storm. It's dark. Totally get it. That's why I actually have an emergency checklist over there, and you'll see candles are probably not on it. It'll be flashlights, lanterns. Always have extra batteries. Always, like, even if you think the pack's brand new, buy a new pack every time you're around and get them. So yeah, candles are definitely not recommended just because it's an open flame. So, but we don't require you to have a permit inside, so that's good. You can still have them, but we definitely don't recommend them. But yeah, so anybody else have any questions? It's short and sweet. Oh.
All right, hang on. I'll let you do that. There you go. I think I've got two going here, two microphones. I'd first like to thank all of these wonderful speakers who brought us a wealth of information on so many different fronts. And it's interesting that the candle story came up at the end, because we almost had a house fire due to an open candle and a very fluffy cat.
Oh.
Yeah, who decided to jump up on the table, and he set himself on fire.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, no, it was quite the dinner party. So the good news is everything was fine, but yes, it was a very quick reminder that pets and candles, even though we were adults in the house and felt the candles were fine, but we realized pets and candles do not go. They don't mix. All right. So we are going to open this up to questions. Before we do, just in case anybody's feeling an itch to have to leave or looking at their watches, the table over there is chock full of absolutely fabulous goodies as well as information. I would really encourage you to mingle and stay around a little bit, maybe meet some neighbors, but to get a chance to get to that table and see some of the things that are on there. There is one thing more to this end that I'm very interested in, and it's bringing you back to the Brock Community Health Center. We are a community organization, and one of the foundations to being a community organization is to have community members, so people being part of the organization. So we have a become a member sheet over there. Maybe Stephen, you could point out where it is right after those brochures. Yeah, thank you. We also have it online if you want to go to the website, if you're, as we've been saying tonight, tech savvy, but otherwise you can grab one of these sheets. It's free. It's renewable every 2 years. And the more members that we have as part of our corporation, the stronger we are together. So we are a community center, so we want community health center, so we really want the community to be part of it. It'll also allow you, if you wanted to be on the board of directors or join any of the committees, and you'll get news and updates if you have an email address as well. Okay. I would really like to open this up to questions, because I'm sure you've all been sitting there listening to all this great stuff, but there may be things that are more specific to you or to situations you're aware of, or even something maybe that's happened to you and one of these people could tell you, well, next time maybe you want to deal with this differently. So do we have any brave souls who want to put their hands up first? Thank you. Oh, we got two. John, and by the way, I'd like to introduce John Grant is one of the board of directors who's putting this on this evening. So thanks, John. What would your question be?
Great seminar, super. Thanks to all the organization. Last few months, every once in a while, my landline telephone shows the landline phone number.
John, can you start that over so people who listen to this recording? I need you to come to the mic. And hang on to this one.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so what you said was that the phone number looked local, looked like a phone number that you recognized, could be a friend, and you picked it up and then it was a scam. Is that correct? Right, okay. So that's very common, number one. It's getting more common. It's just that the availability, depending on what kind of phone number it was too, if it was a landline or a cell phone. But like I said, they have the data banks just full of different numbers, and you can get numbers from many different sources, and AI can capture these numbers and throw them out in batches, thousands at a time. And then when the phone gets picked up, like you picked it up, then that's when they'll decide what scam to use on you. So it's not specific that somebody's targeting your friend specifically, it's most likely that their phone number was captured and it was used from a data bank and sent out in mass. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does a follow-up. Sorry.
Okay.
Just as a follow-up, should that person whose number is being used phone the police or not?
We actually get a lot of residents that'll come in and they'll actually say that exact thing. It's happening everywhere. It's an epidemic, right? Epidemic. The scams that are going on right now, all you can do is protect yourself. Be aware, like what I was telling you. And if you identify it as a scam, hang up. If you think it's your friend, call your friend, speak to them, say, just so you know, your number is being used, unfortunately. And that's really all you can do. Is just protect yourself and make sure that you don't put yourself in a position where you're going to lose any money. You're welcome.
While he's still standing, do we have another question for Constable Colin? Thank you. There you go. Back to the mics. Hang on.
I'm just wondering.
If you would, so the reason I am making you speak into these tiny little microphones is because we are recording this session for all the people who couldn't be here tonight who might want to watch it later on online. So if I don't get the question, the answer is not going to be very relevant. So there you go. Sorry about that.
No worries. I just want to know to whom should I direct my comments about the speed of people. I live on Thora Park Boulevard.
I do too, and I walk my dog and I have to jump in the ditch so they don't hit me.
So it is 40, and just where I am, I always back in, but if I can't see anything coming, and I've almost been clipped many times because they're going 80, 90, 100.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I know it's impossible, like there are crimes happening, so no officer is going to sit at the end of our driveway to watch for it because it's so sporadic.
I walk my dog every day and I see it every day. I jump in the ditch so because two cars can't pass on our road because the road's so narrow.
Yeah, it's quite dangerous actually. I have grandchildren who are there, and they know to stay on the backside because it's the lakeside. Yeah.
So prior to my role here, which I just started in January, I was, for the last 4 years, I was actually the traffic coordinator up north in North Division. So you might have seen me around town. I had the blacked out Ford Explorer cruiser. That was mine. So there's a number of things that you can do there. We engage with the residents in a program called Coffee with a Cop. Okay. It's tomorrow, actually, at Cantor here in Cannington at 10 o'clock, if anybody wants to come by for a coffee. And we bring out the traffic unit for the North Division. And you can speak directly with those officers, which I used to be one. As far as the traffic is concerned, we will go out and we will take each individual complaint seriously, and we will go and we'll spend some time there. The hard part about us spending time there is that they're well behaved when we're there, right? But all at the same time, we do have blacked out cruisers like I did, and when I was in my cruiser, it was very hard to tell that it was a cruiser. It also, speeding is an epidemic. It's not just North Durham. It is everywhere. Every region in Ontario, you're going to find this. We have a lot more tools at our disposal to take care of the high flyers, such as taking their vehicles for stunt driving for 14 days, impounding them, and suspending their license for 30 days, which we do all the time. There's a road watch program. You might see the road watch on the side of the roads, and the traffic guys, which I said I used to do, they're the ones that receive those road watch complaints. So just like a Crime Stoppers complaint would come in, a road watch complaint can come in. It can be anonymous. The more detail that you can get on the road watch complaint, the better. Times that this is happening, the location, if you can get a plate, if you can get a description of a vehicle, that is all helpful. as well, we keep track of the different complaints and what is happening in the different areas, and we'll go out and do enforcement. And it's a hard thing because we have 2 traffic guys up north. Everybody else does do traffic, but they also do calls, right? And if we can be specific about the time that it's happening, then we can be a little bit more productive and efficient. And we can go to that location at the time. Yeah. Right.
And 1 out of 10 people stop.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Colin's on his way now.
So you can see I have a body cam here. So this body camera captures 30 seconds prior. So it's recording all the time. So as soon as I click it on, it's captured 30 seconds prior. As a traffic unit, I used to sit this very high, sit my seat up high and my steering wheel low, so it would capture right across my hood of my car. So I could capture vehicles when they just go up and they'd slow down and they'd just turn, or they'd run red lights, or they'd be speeding. I've had them pass me, in my marked cruiser, and I have a radar there, and so it's capturing my radar, it's capturing them past me. So this is all great evidence, right, that I'm capturing. And when you go to court, to bring up the evidence, how are you going to defeat that? It's very hard. But I'd encourage you to either put in road watch complaints, come out to coffee with a cop, talk to the traffic guys directly. Say, look, and they will take it down. Well, where you live, what's the location, what's the time? You came out, or you put a road watch? Did you talk to Ryan? I will mention that tomorrow. That's what I'll call him, Constable Big Tall Drink of Water. But we can follow up with him. Okay, even if you want to give me the information after.
That's the thing. We're well aware that so many things are going on. The last thing somebody wants to do is sit on our road. But, I've had them up my rear because I do like to back in. But so I just pull over to the side and let them go, because there's not a chance they would let me back in, because they're right on me, and then give me the horn because you have the audacity to slow down. So. Right.
With the Road Watch program as well, what we do is, if we do have enough information to identify the vehicle with a plate, then we send out a letter to the registered owner, and then the owner, usually it could be a parent, it might not be the parent if it is a child, but if it's just an adult that doesn't really like to obey the rules of the road, then they'll be aware that someone has actually observed their behavior, the driving behavior, reported to the police. There's a report on with us, with the police. So if we have an interaction with them, then we know this is the individual, that this is their history, right? So we kind of take that into consideration when we're dealing with them at the roadside. Okay.
Thank you, Constable. That was a good spot for it. Anyone else have any questions? I'd seen a hand up. Angela, hang on.
You can just repeat it, it's quick.
Okay.
Just for Olivia. Olivia, what about fire extinguishers? Is there any way to check those, or do you just replace them after so many?
Right, so the question is fire extinguishers. What do we do with them? Olivia, thanks.
Good question. A lot of people have fire extinguishers in their home. So on the bottom of the extinguisher, right, imprinted in the extinguisher, it will say the year of the extinguisher. Just like any commercial building or restaurant or anything like that, check it monthly, especially with the ABC ones. You want to actually take it and put it upside down, because it will solidify inside of it if it's not checked for too long. So a lot of people don't know that. You want to obviously make sure it's in the green charged area. If it's older, like if it's over a year, let's say it's 2 years old, you can actually reach out to a fire protection company. Dyson is one of the most common ones. Sometimes there might be a label on your extinguisher to go to that one. Give them a call. They can come and check it. If you have old ones that you're not sure what to do with, give them a call. They will come and take it away from you. So yeah, but checking to make sure it's charged, and then always, every once in a while, if you're passing it, flip it upside down. Some people have even the cooking extinguishers. It's a good thing, like, don't vigorously shake it, just a nice light one. But yeah, it will solidify, and then with age, just like the alarms and everything, they do expire. So yeah.
While you're still there, what about if you say they're out of the green, right? They now need to be charged. Does that company?
Yes,
will they do the charging?
They can recharge it for you. We actually just had some recharge from our station. Like, we don't do it ourselves. You can recharge a water extinguisher, but most of the ones you see in any commercial building, any residential home, is going to be an ABC extinguisher, which is wood burning, not metals, electrical, and like liquids, flammable liquids. So call that alarm company, and they're going to come out. They take it and recharge it, or they can replace it with a new one, whichever you prefer. So I'm not sure if there's money issues too, which is a cheaper option, but those companies are all so great. Like, I know there's Vipond, Viking Fire Services. There's a few of them. Dyson's right in Lindsay. So if you're on your way to Lindsay, bring your extinguisher with you, and you can actually go right in there and say, I have this extinguisher, I don't know, and they will check it for you. So yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Do you have any other questions about any other topics? Scams, harassment. It sounds, a lot of what we've talked about tonight sounds very negative, right? It's all about things that happen that are not good, that are not fun, that might cause us injury or harm. But I'm just so grateful that this community actually, I moved to this community 8 years ago, and I just love how community-minded it is, and how we can rely on one another and have this kind of information where we're able to share and get some really good feedback on problems that we may actually have or know people who may have. Okay. But I know somebody's dying to ask something. No? Yes, please.
I have an answer machine. I don't know how to fix it, but it just, after 3 rings, it comes on, hello, please leave a message after the tone. Would that be the safest thing, and you don't recognize the number, don't answer it?
Oh, that's a good point. Thanks.
Well, the answer machine just told the person a bunch of things about you right away. So it's no different than if you answer the phone and say hello. They know that this is a female, it could be a senior based on the voice, and
it has no voice.
It's not your voice. It's somebody else's voice.
It's a male tone. Like, I haven't said it or.
Oh, it's like an automated one.
Automated tone. Okay, that's a little different. Yeah, that's fine. You know that they're not going to leave a message. It's going to be just like if you get a call and you don't answer it, and at your phone sometimes it'll auto dictate what a message if somebody was leaving it, and they don't leave a message, and most likely you go to your computer, you plug in the number, you say, oh, that's a scam, right? And also, if you do get scam numbers, say somebody phones you and you recognize the number as a scam, if you block that number on your phone, next time that number phones, it'll come up and it'll go possibly a scam. Yeah, so it's good. It's a good habit to block numbers. Like before you delete that number, click on the right, and then it'll say block. You can block it. Yeah, is that good?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks again. Sure. That was a great question. Did you have a follow up to how that works?
Yeah, how do you block that?
So I guess it all depends, right? Whether you've got an Apple or an Android, but yeah.
Oh,
I don't think you do it on landlines.
No, is it only on cell phones?
Yeah, it's only on cell phones.
Oh.
You'll block it. If you swipe to erase it, or you'll swipe it and then it'll give you. You can delete it or you can block it, and you can still delete it. But that way, you're blocking it from your phone. So if it comes back, it'll show up that way. Just one other thing is, I spoke briefly about if you leave an answering voicemail saying I'm not here, leave me a message. We all trusted that because since when it started, it was a trusted way to do things. Not so much anymore. Even if somebody phones your cell phone and you have your voicemail on there, and same thing, they can recognize a few things about you, and they'll know when they call that that could possibly be advantageous to them. Does everybody understand that? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Next. Yes, please. Yeah, and can he answer and then we'll come back to you? Thank you. Thank you.
One other thing that you can do is if anyone does have a cell phone, Android or Apple, they're a little bit different, and you have like a grandchild or a child of your own who is able to help you. Android does have call screening, so you can, instead of the two buttons that pop up like the answer and the decline, it'll actually ask you, like on Google for example, it asks you to swipe up instead, and it'll send an automated message that isn't your voice saying, please state your name, your number, the reason you're calling, and so it'll actually it'll screen the call for you. And Apple is a little bit more complicated to set that up. It's in your settings. It's a whole disaster. I can't remember how to do it. I have it set up on my phone because people's numbers that I don't save constantly have to leave their name and why they're calling me, and then my phone will ring. So if you do have somebody who can help you set up that, I do recommend doing that as well.
Perhaps that's our next speaker series. Yeah. You had a question.
No, I don't have a question. I was just going to say
Thanks.
that this month already, I have a landline. I don't answer. It has a male voice that says, please leave a message. My phone rings 3 times. If there's no message and I don't recognize the number coming up, I don't answer because I'm in Sunderland. Anyway, this month I've had 64 phone calls come through, and I, for fun, write them down. I have a book full of numbers, but this month they're all from 705, 357 to something, and they come in order. There's about maybe 4 or 5 in a row, and it's all 705, 357 numbers, very similar, the last 4 digits. So
Wow.
anyway,
Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah. I've never thought of counting them. Yes. There you go. Do you want to hang on to it? Sure. Just make sure it's on okay.
My husband had a terrible time with his cell phone. It would ring all day. And so if I needed him, he wouldn't answer. He didn't answer them. So I deleted them all every day, like 24 a day. My family, I don't forget which one, said, because he doesn't use his phone all the time, you can set it so the only phone calls that come through a cell phone are the ones that are in your list of people. So that works well. We have no more of that.
Wow. Excuse me. Sorry for my reach. We're getting great tips here. Yeah, this is fantastic. Anyone else? Questions or comments? It's great to share. All right, going once, going twice. You see? Excuse me again.
The fire lady.
Sure. Thank you so much.
2:00 in the morning. I have the wired in smoke and carbon monoxide detectors before.
They all go off all at once.
No, they didn't. But one of them at 2 a.m. in the morning said, "Fire, fire, fire." I got up and there was no fire. I looked everywhere. So what was that and why?
All right. That's a good question.
So you said all of your alarms are wired together. So usually if one goes off, do they all go off? Okay. Usually when they're wired, they should all be kind of going off all together so that if you're on any level of the home, they go off. If one is going off, it could be defective. It could have maybe someone was having a hot shower, but you said it was 2 a.m. in the morning. So next time, safest thing to do is get out of your house, even if you didn't see anything, and call 911 and then have them take a look at it. Yeah, just in case. Because it could have been an electrical wire burning that it's catching the smoke before you did. It could be anything. So always, if your alarm's going off, get out and call 911. Even if it's 2 a.m., we will come. So that's the safest thing to do because sometimes they do act up, like I said. It could be the battery it's chirping at. It could be anything, but it's best to always have it checked out just in case. Yeah, the carbon monoxide alarms, yeah. Keep those. Oh, I almost gave you my badge.
Yeah. No, that really is great advice, right? It's so easy to just say, yeah, it's fine, it's nothing, and then go back to sleep, and what if it is something, right? Yeah, and especially if you only got a couple of minutes to get out. Any other questions for anyone in our panel, or about anything from Brock Community Health Center even? No? Yeah, please. Oh, hang on.
When it comes to smoke detectors and carbon monoxide, this is what I do. I change mine every time at daylight savings time.
Yeah.
But I also have a sticker on them saying when I purchased them and when I changed them. I just got new ones from Costco and they're a 10-year warranty, both carbon and fire.
Yep.
Are they good? I was
Yes,
told they're
the Costco
best.
ones have been recommended. Yeah,
Yes.
so if
it's just
usually.
a way for people to do that.
Yep.
And I changed the sticker for the animals. I was cleaning my front door window today, this afternoon, and I have a sticker there and for cats. And the marker was getting
A little faded.
so I went and put 4. Crazy lady with 4 cats.
That's okay.
Anyway,
So, yeah, so did you say you change your smoke alarms every time you daylight savings? Oh, the batteries. I was going to say, you're excellent. Could you come and help us? That's amazing. Oh, yeah. So they're on top of it. You have no idea how many houses I go to Alarm for Life and they'll say, I live with a firefighter. You don't need to come in. You're probably right. Yeah. You can ask my dad. I'm a pain in the butt sometimes. So. Yeah, that's good. But Costco has great sales on packs. We actually partner with a lot of the hardware stores in town. So Cannington, Beaverton, and Sunderland, they all should be, unless there's a lot of people buying alarms, they should be equipped with alarms if you need them as well. And then I was going to make a note for the stuff that I brought. Nobody knows what it is. It's a little circle. If you have trouble opening jars, it actually sticks to the top of a jar, and it will open it for you. And then I didn't bring that much because I didn't know there was going to be this many people. But there are some little red seatbelt cutters as well. So if you find yourself driving around a lot, very good to have, especially if you're driving with passengers and maybe you can get out but they can't. You can cut the seatbelt. They're very easy to use too. So.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? I'm going to do it again, going once, going twice. I know this time it seems like it's for real. All right, so I encourage you, thank you again. Our next series is coming up. Yeah, sure. So our next senior series is on Thursday. We're trying to do them on Thursdays, May 21st, so put it in your calendar. And this one's going to be about planning. So it's about seniors planning for the future. Okay? We're developing our wonderful panel for that evening. And I hope to see as many wonderful faces again next month. And a packed house. This is fantastic. Help yourselves. There's still some food. And there's lots at the tables. Thanks again. Thank you. Stephen's got feedback forms back there. We'd really like to know your thoughts about this, if you like it, if you want us to do more of it. So if you wouldn't mind grabbing one of those and just leaving it on your way out. And I'll remind you again about the registration. All right. Thank you.